Yeah, I know.
Okay. Where is she? She knows it's coming, so. Okay, so I'm gonna pass these out, pass one out.
Take one down, pass
it around.
About the rest of the
So just know we are always trying to get more organized and have a more stream flow, but we need your help in doing that. Those.
You're looking at Justin, you were saying this, I'm like, yo, whoa, wait a second here.
Just you.
Hey, did you guys get what's the status with the inspection on Skyline?
We're not doing it. I emailed her back.
Okay.
Wave.
So
No, we
did you
haven't.
cross that out and do all the stuff and what we needed to do to make it so it's not showing that it's inspected?
Just get the contingency in there, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we don't have to have an inspection.
No, I know.
35 in there.
They just haven't seen it yet. They want it.
Yeah, they want to check a couple things first.
They have nothing to check. Just dilly-dallying, playing some chat.
Good morning, Nicole.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Nicole.
Okay, so introductions, if you haven't already. Everybody, this is Nicole. She's fabulous already. This is Bailey. She's our marketing person, but might get her license as well. This is our rock star Mackenzie over here. Morgan's our new girl, but she's already gotten a pending done, but she's doing it on her own because the first 4 transactions when a new agent comes in, they have to do it themselves. So they kind of know what you do and what to look for when you're doing it. So
That's awesome.
And then Jay is another rock star. And he's my little baby bear. He's awesome. You met and talked to Adam yesterday.
Yep.
Another rock star. And this is Julian, our other super.
Hi, Julian.
And his friend that comes to visit us.
Super special.
What is your name again, sir?
Kenji.
Okay. And so there you go. And Jennifer.
Hi.
Elaine. And Elaine.
So can you tell us a little bit about your background real quick?
So I feel like I've been doing transaction coordinating my entire life just because it's such a fast-paced and busy position to be in. But I started out with Windermere and I was doing their file management, and that's where I learned everything that I know. At least I feel like. And then I had a baby and I needed to work from home, so I had to leave Windermere, unfortunately. But I went over to a company called Transactly, and it was 100% at home. And I have been working with like 5 different brokerages at one time. And I got to a point where I just wanted to work with one and just know their ins and outs and have like my agents, because we're all like family. And so that's where I'm at now, is I'm here with you guys, and I live in Gig Harbor, so I'm on the complete opposite end of Western Washington to you guys.
Hey, you're in the same time zone. That works for me.
Yep, same time zone. And I actually know Anacortes really well. I've spent a lot of time up there when I first moved to Washington, so it's beautiful. I love it. If it didn't rain more than it rains here, I would probably be living up there, but I have to get a little bit more sunshine, so we're down here and we're close to family. So yeah, let's see, my husband is a firefighter, so we have a very busy schedule and we have a little one, so I am busy a lot, and then obviously my job keeps me very busy too. So yeah, I'm excited. I feel really good about you guys, and I've been looking in your files, and you guys, I like that you have most of your paperwork together and are on top of it to begin with. So hopefully you won't be upset with me, and because I won't be nagging you. I do have a tendency to get what I need and get what I want. So I will be pushing and calling and poking and prodding. So I'm not afraid to poke the bear.
I think we love that.
Yeah, that's good.
We prefer that. So.
Yeah. Like I said, I will literally grab Julian by the back of the neck.
Oh my God. Come on. Yeah, right. You came in today and you had everything you needed for my files. So come on.
Yeah. And you see on the screen, I don't know if you can see Gavin joining.
Hi, Gavin.
One of our other new agents. He's also, last name is Lang as well. So he gets that a lot, but he helps us out he's actually doing kind of both. He's being a buyer's agent, but he's also helping us here in the office by opening lock boxes, running them out since we don't have keys to that. So he's driving literally all over the place.
No kidding.
Nice. You guys are all so young. This is
Oh,
awesome.
for sure. I know. I feel
I am so
Yeah.
used to working. I'm so used to working with like older generations that don't know how to do anything. Like, what's DocuSign and
so
can I just sign it in person? And I'm like, no, I can't.
you're the oldest, right?
She's the older.
How old are you? So our oldest is 27.
What? Oh man, I feel
Right?
so old. Oh my god, I'm so old.
Gavin's the youngest at
Gavin's
18,
18.
19.
Wow. Okay. Well, you guys.
So that's
better
why I'm
be
Mama Bear, because I literally am old enough to be all her mom. For sure. So you got this sheet yesterday. We sent it to you, right? The protocols, the
Yes.
protocols. So just kind of want to go over that real quick. So when you do get to use the TC, so anybody that's still on that page, we can't really do anything without the TMO, right? Because we need to have the timeline sheet, has to have the lender's name, contact information, the title company, and when you're on the buyer's side, we're not using Kayla half the time, right? It's like somebody else, like Carrie or somebody. So just try to remember to do it either right after you send us that, because it's just going to sit there until we get that TMO. And Kelly has laid down the law as far as you have 24 hours to get that to us. Okay. But just keep in mind, if it's 24 hours, right, by the time you get us the TMO and we can get and Nicole can get all the information up there, then that's really delayed sending off the information and kind of makes us look like we're not on top of it, right? So I would prefer do it simultaneously if you can. I mean, I understand if you have to run out for an appointment, but if you sit down for just a little bit, just do it, and then we can work on it, and then it's sent out the same day, and then we look golden to everybody, your clients, to the lenders, to everybody, right, Nicole?
Yeah, that's a big thing for me is I don't want to look bad on my part because you guys aren't doing your part. So, ultimately I do work for you, but I still get reflected by the client as well, which ultimately reflects on you guys. So, but I mean, the TMOs so far that I've seen have been awesome.
And that goes to say, so communication. So we've kind of messed that up in the past with other TCs that we've had. So she's basically, your assistant in a way, right? Like, so you're going to communicate with her. Don't go, come up to me and go, oh my God, she's not doing this. She never does this. Well, call her, ask her why she didn't do it. We're all adults. You know what I mean? Like, I'll straight up ask you, hey, why don't I have this in the file, Mackenzie? Right? Like, just communicate. And of course, you said you're already going to poke the bear. When you need something, you're going to ask for it. So an explanation. And then if there's anything weird with your file, something that's going on that we don't know about, just, shoot off an email to both of us to kind of let us know. Because a lot of time I'm looking to say hey, is this closing today? What's going on with this? And you're like, oh no, we need an extension. It's like, okay, then get Nicole to get an extension out ASAP, right? So we don't get out of contract. That makes sense?
Yeah, if you guys get a phone call from me, it's probably going to be important. So I'm kind of one of those that I am really good with texting and emails. And those are my forefront go-tos. But if I need something and it's urgent, or I haven't heard from you and you're getting a phone call from me, it means you're probably in trouble, or I need something now. So it's, and if you guys call, and I would love to know individually what your guys's preferred form of communication is. If you guys are all oh, you'll mostly hear from me in email, but if I call you, it's really important, then that way, I know in my mind, oh, Adam's calling me, this is really important, I need to stop everything I'm doing and pick up the phone. But if you're also oh, I'll call you all the time, whether it's important or not.
Just check
it's good for me to kind of know those things for each of you, just so if I know oh, Julian's calling me, just called me 5 minutes ago, it may not be that important, I'll call him back in a minute kind of a thing. But
I think we're exaggerating a bit here. Let's not take this too far.
But just know, like, my biggest forms of communication are text and email. But if something is really important or I haven't heard from you, or you get a phone call from me, like, please try and answer your phone. I understand you guys are in meetings and stuff, but if I call you, it's probably pretty important. So
There you go.
Real
Yeah,
quick,
go ahead.
could somebody send her number into the group chat? Just so we have it.
Okay.
Phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Anybody want to do that? I don't have my phone.
I think I
Do you have it on?
Gavin, do you want me to just send it through here on the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd work.
Okay. Sorry, I just sent it.
So just get in the habit of, like, maybe for the time being of CCing both of us on anything. So the more people that are aware of what's going on with the file, probably the better, because then we can do kind of more checks and balances to make sure stuff gets done. We're also going to implement where, like, Elaine and Jen are going to do checks and balances on basically Nicole and I, right? So they're going to look every single Wednesday to see if all of the pendings that came in over the weekend on Monday are in paperless and in our Brevity, our system, right? So we're going to try to do a little bit more checks and balances, because I did see those ones, because I had started to look through and notice the ones that you were missing, and I was like, crap, called up the last one and said, get it in there now, and she still didn't get it in there now. But
this will be sure that.
yeah, so we're gonna just kind of have
Even
some,
if
like,
it's
everybody's
set.
just gonna be kind of monitoring each other and saying, hey, I'm not seeing this, or I'm missing this, or hey, there was a purchase price change, and now we need to redo a commission disbursement. I mean, we're just gonna try to help each other out, because we're a team.
Right.
When the home inspection is over, email the inspection report to Nicole so she can add it into paperless pipeline. And of course, you guys know to get all the repair invoices that Nicole needs so she can add it to paperless pipeline. On the listing side, it's saying, fill out that Google form for me. You can, we haven't gotten the habit of really doing that. I mean, it kind of helps, but like your notes and stuff that you've left for me, or just having a conversation with me.
Yeah.
And before I call the seller, I like to have a conversation with you guys. Tell me what I don't know, so we don't sound like they're like, I've already told that to Adam.
Yeah.
And then again, that makes us look like we're not communicating. So
Right.
the more communication and the more information, the better. And I mean, we just constantly talk about the listing before it goes live anyway, so we're pretty much good about that, I think. And anything that has to do with the marketing, flyers, open houses, things like that are Jen, Bailey, and Elaine. So Elaine's your go-to for open houses, and it's asking to please give your weekend availability as soon as you know it, preferably Monday or Tuesday of each week, because we're literally putting that open house schedule together on Monday and Tuesday for that coming up weekend.
Yeah.
So we need to know who's available. Remember to go live on your Facebook at your open house. This is not an option. It says this is a requirement. So we do try to get the password for their Wi-Fi if we know you're in some kind of rural area that's not going to get good Wi-Fi, or you're roaming in Canada when you're in West Beach.
Yeah.
Nightmare. But if you absolutely can't do it, they won't give us the password, then of course just do one anyway, and then load it up on Facebook later, right? And then, very important, is getting feedback. As soon as your open house is done, send feedback on what happened to Elaine, please, because the sellers are always bugging us.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened? I mean, she spends a good majority of her day texting agents asking what the feedback is on listings. So now you guys are in that boat. So that's just basic protocol. So I just wanted to kind of introduce Nicole, and I mean, she rocked it last night and stayed up really late to try to get us caught up on some stuff. So we'll hopefully get into a really nice, smooth workflow of everything. Does anybody have any questions for her or questions for us? Like, what more do you expect from us? Let's go there. Go around and say, what do you guys expect from us? Go ahead, Adam.
Nothing. Great.
Well, and two, guys, let me know, like, where other
Yeah,
TCs in the past, like, drop the ball, where you'd like to see improvement there.
Well,
I would
I feel like more communication is better than anything. 'Cause,
Right.
like,
Okay.
at least just like from my perspective, is like, I don't know if something's been done or not, and so then I just go ahead and do it, and kind of thing. So just more communication, like bug the shit out of me. I don't care. I just want to know that it's done, or if I need to do it.
And on that point, if you do it, we need to know that you already did it.
Right.
Because we get that a lot, where it's like, Kelly's already done something and I'm going to go do it, and then they're like, it's already done,
Yeah.
So again, we don't want mass confusion. And do you guys, okay, here's a question for you. So do you get the text messages? In our other Brivity system, we have text messages that are auto messages to send to you guys when we do something if we click it off.
It's
Are
just
you
been
getting
put
those?
into it, then yes.
Okay. So do you guys go into, because we give you the ability to go into the client portal and see what we've done. Have you guys been doing that?
I talked to you about that. I didn't remember getting the thing
So
to
you
accept
should be
it.
getting an invite every time we put one of your pendings into Brivity.
No, I haven't
You're not
gotten
getting
them.
them?
I
Or
just got one
listing
for the
side?
first time in a while.
I did too on
Listing
Colony.
side, yes.
Listing side's good, but
Buy
buyer
side,
side's no?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back through Brivity and make sure you guys are actually in there with the right email addresses, because it won't let us use your regular Gmail. We have to make up some Gmail plus client view for you guys to log in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we gotta do this kind of weird
that's
workaround
annoying.
bypass thing, because it's set up to where you guys are supposed to see that client portal just like the client is. You're set up as clients actually in our Brivity system, right? So we set you up as like buyer's listing view or buyer's agent's view and listing agent view.
Mhm.
So you're basically treated like clients. So you should see everything that they're seeing.
Okay.
So utilize that a little bit more, because if you have a question and you're like, oh, did they send that out? You just go in there
Right.
and it might say, yeah, we did,
Okay.
because you should see the whole timeline and everything. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right. Anything else that you want us to do?
One thing, like I guess in the past with some of the TCs, being like not afraid but hesitant to ask. Like if I'm out showing and a form comes in and it may be like something a little different, like a 34 that includes a refrigerator or whatever. Just being able to like say, hey, I just forwarded you this. Can you get a quick signature on it? Is that something you're fine doing?
I mean, I'll probably just say, hey, I got this form. Do you want me to send it out for signatures?
Okay. But if we get it, we can just send it to you and same thing.
Yeah. If you get a form and you need signatures done, or you've already gotten signatures, just send it to me. Everything that you get, even if it's already done, just send it to the TC at Team Kelly Lang, just so I can get it in the file and over to paperless. And then it's possible that it's like a checklist item too. So once it's like a completed item, then that's where you'll get like that text that will say like this item has been completed. I don't know, I'm not quite familiar yet with what the Brivity texts look like when something gets completed, but yeah, I mean, I'm not afraid. I mean, I have boundaries, but when it comes to work, it's like, I want to get my work done. And I want to feel accomplished at the end of the day. And so I'm not going to hesitate to like reach out to you guys. And like I said, like bug you, especially if I need to get something done. So, or, if you told me to like, just in a text, like, hey, just a heads up, we're going to be probably extending a close date on this, then I'll just immediately, ask you, like, do you want me to get, a 22Y, together and get it out for signatures? And then I'll just kind of wait and follow your guys' leads. But I just like to be prepared ahead of time. I don't like to wait on things until the last minute because then I feel like I'm not getting it done, or like I could have done something sooner. So yeah, I won't hesitate on asking anything really.
And another thing that she brought up, so when it comes to like addendums and you're like, hey, I need something like a form 34 sent out, we're changing some information, she's going to need the exact verbiage.
Yeah.
She's not going to write the verbiage for you. So send her exactly what you want it to say, and she'll type it up and get it sent out for sellers, or get it sent out for signatures.
Oh, one more question. Are you sending out buyer email reminders to turn utilities to their name?
That's something Kelly and I need to kind of go through, where I'm still learning the process of, from pending the close. And I would assume that would be something that would be part of that process. I think it's usually like 5 days before closing.
Yeah, 3, 4.
or week or something?
Yeah, so we have those in there, and those should be being sent out. It's a, hey, you're coming close to closing. Like on the listing side, there should be one that we send out that says, hey, we're closing on, it's coming up. Here's some reminders of things to do, and it talks about utilities to the sellers. It talks about, mowing the lawn if it needs to be mowed before, all this kind of stuff. Buyer side, it's like, here's the utilities, and we're starting to break it out as far as like area as well. But it's kind of one of those things we have to manipulate every single time, right? Because it's like, you might have a well, you might have a septic, you might be on Skagit PUD, or you might be on this, it's waste management, island disposal, city of Anacortes, city, you know what I mean? And then city of Carver is so freaking weird. If especially if you have a rent back, that's a nightmare. So just keep that in mind, because if the seller is saying, then it still has to go into the buyer's name on the day of closing, and then the seller has to call back and say, but I'm a renter for the next 10 days. So kind of keep those in mind. But yeah, we're trying to give more information out to the clients as well and be on top of that. Like I was noticing, going back, like I can't see what the last person, the last TC, did she do this or did she not do this? And then without going through serious and massive amounts of emails. But we definitely want more touch points on all the clients from us, so then they give you guys great reviews and you get more business.
Is Kelly still having the TC send out the financing waiver that the
Yes.
22 AR?
On the listing side? Yeah. Yes, they should be doing that. Like I had sent one out
I
for
think I've
Kelly on
seen
Friday
one.
because I noticed that. I went in and looked for it. I'm like, holy crap, we need to send this out today. So yeah.
You guys do automatic 22 ARs?
Yeah, so on the listing side, we send out a 22 AR saying, hey, we need you to waive the financing
Okay.
after that 21 days. And there is an email template for that in
Okay.
So, yep, but we got to, of course, get the seller signatures first and then send it out. So,
Okay.
yeah. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in there that should have been being done that was not being done.
I don't think I've ever.
There
had
is
22
seriously
AR sent
like
out.
79 checklist task items, I believe. I mean, there's a lot, so Nicole, you just need to go through, like I said, those pending to close.
The overdues?
Really get used to what the tasks are. Yeah. And, used to what the tasks are. All right. Anyone else have questions or comments?
What do you guys want from us that hasn't happened in the past?
I want you to send as much paperwork in at one time as possible, because what happens is it just gets so busy, and then we're like, okay, we've got this done, but now we're still waiting on the seller's disclosure. So anything that's lingering, we have to put in reminders for ourselves to remind you, to remind somebody else.
Again, I just was gonna reiterate, like sometimes like half the listings don't have Form 17s, so when I go under contract and there's no Form 17 to sign and I haven't been issued one upon mutual acceptance, you know what I mean? Sometimes that's gonna get in late, so.
And that's fine, but we just looked that up because I was always questioning, it's like, where is that say how many days we have to have?
5-day window.
We just looked it up and it's 5.
Yeah.
So 5 business days after mutual, we need that seller's disclosure.
Now, if it doesn't come over with your mutual, is that something that you guys like automatically want me to request from the listing agent? Or is this something that you will already be on top of upon signing?
I don't think it hurts you.
I say you could request it.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, go ahead and do it. So
Yeah.
that way we're not asking these guys, and it kind of.
Okay,
proceeds
and I'll
that.
obviously, for a while, like double check with you guys if you've already requested something, like I'll just shoot you a text and be like, did you happen to request the Form 17 yet at all? So, and if not, then I'll be on it. So.
Yeah. And then on the listing side, sometimes, like I've told you, there's a couple places that you might find it from the listing side, because if a contract gets sent into Kelly for an offer and they have the seller's disclosure lumped in with the actual contract, I split it. And then I just save it in Transaction Desk when I'm like working frantically. And then sometimes I will not move it over to the Google Drive. So look in the Google Drive or look in Transaction Desk under Kelly's, and you might find it 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
Awesome. Anything else?
I went on Form 17 for Skyline.
She hasn't filled it out yet. I asked her about that. I think I sent it. Oh, I'll look to see if she's filled it out.
I'll
It'd be
ask her.
underneath yours. Did you check in your
Oh, there you
transaction
go.
desk to see if she filled it out?
Adam.
See if she filled it out because it's
He's
emailed
been
to them.
traveling.
Yeah,
For
he
like
needs
2
to
days.
act around this morning.
Because that form goes out for the listing side. That's the weird one because it goes out as a link. They have to fill it out, and then I have to remember to go back in and look to see if they filled it out, and then I have to send it for signing. They can't do the signing and the filling out at one time. So they might have printed it out, and so if you see the little check marks, then we need to send it out for signing. All right. Anything else? We good?
I don't think so. It was awesome meeting
Where are you, Gavin?
I'm in Tucson, Arizona right now.
Are you moving your girlfriend in?
Lucky.
Yeah, moving her in tomorrow. So
Aw, how sad.
Tucson,
Are you gonna
Arizona.
cry?
she's laughing in the background.
He will. He'll do it.
For sure, yeah.
Is it hot?
It's hot. Yeah, it's like 98 right now. I think. 10 o'clock. Yeah,
Wow.
No, thank you.
yeah. And we were like, yeah, let's go walk around for a little bit. That changed real fast. You're like dripping by like a block. You're like, oh.
Make
Well,
sure
we're not gonna be
walk
too
out
far
there
off
with
from
water.
that this week. Gosh, it's supposed to be upper 90s this week here.
Oh, geez.
Not here.
Here?
No.
Oh well. My house is supposed to be 86 today and
High 71.
93 on Wednesday.
It's in the 70s here, Nicole.
Yeah, it's high as 71.
Yeah.
That's too cold. That's too cold.
It's too cold. I
Oh,
hate it. I cannot
perfect.
stand it. Oh,
I can even go to the 60s.
no.
Bonfire and a sweatshirt.
80.
No.
We went 30s to go hunting.
Go to Margarita.
All right, cool. So
I'll go to Margarita.
you and I'll talk a little bit later, Nicole. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you.
It was awesome to meet you.
Yeah, you guys too. And I'll meet you in person one of these days. I'll get up there.
Yeah, she'll be able to come to like our Christmas parties and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
So cool.
they're fun.
All right, thanks everybody.
All
Bye.
right, bye.
See you, Gavin.
See ya.
Don't we have the tarot card too?